Okay. I'm trying to switch to the other scene, but Oliver has put his paw over the stream thing. Hold on. Here, let me just move this camera so you can see for a moment. Of course, showing him covering it is what makes him, like, uncover it. Anyway, GG on first, Bjorto. Yeah, there's a few places that talk about this game a lot. Game Maker's Toolkit. Adam Millard has mentioned this game a few times. I'm pretty sure. Granted, Adam Millard and Mark Brown, I'm pretty sure are friends, considering the fact Adam Millard is like a like admin on Mark Brown's Discord. So that makes sense. Also, I'm eating more of these like weird gourmet Cheeto things. I got these. Dot's Homestyle Snacks. Cheese baked cheese curls. A little picture. These are like literally knockoff Cheetos. No, you can't eat the Cheeto. But like, look at this. They like literally are Cheetos with like some sort of seasoning. You can't eat the Cheeto. Stop it. Okay, he can have a treat that is not the Cheeto. My vet friend would not be happy if I started feeding him Cheetos. But, so I kind of hate these. I got them because I was like, ooh, fancy Cheetos seems like a fun thing. But the problem is, like, the actual cheesy part is really good. Like, it's like a dehydrated cheddar powder that's like on them, and it's super tasty. But they also have some like, I don't know if it's Italian seasoning or what, some sort of seasoning powder is like on them that I don't like. Like, it just is. It's such a different flavor. Like, it's kind of like if you get tomato soup, and like the place has like a tomato bisque, and it has a whole bunch of seasonings in it, and it stops tasting like regular tomato soup. Like, the thing is, I want trash. I love Campbell's tomato soup made with like whole milk. I don't love really fancy tomato bisque that tastes like 10 million things. I don't want complex flavor in my tomato soup. And it's the same thing here. I don't really want like all these seasonings. I want cheesy cheese puff, like. Part of what made me so excited about these is that normally if you like other brands that make like cheese puff things, they're always the puff version. But I like the non-puff ones. I like the crunchy one, like the not the cheese curl, but the cheese weird thing. Okay. Anyway, back to Steven's sausage roll. So, this game is fascinating. So Bjorto, not that I expect you to, but if you watch any of the first stream, you'll see how much we struggled to start this game. Oh, what? The game keeps track of the number of sausages I did? We were manually counting that, which I forgot to go get my account, so that's good. I was curious about how many sausages I had saved, so I like that. So no, we are like a little boy entity. If we were a cheese, it would be better. A Steven, if you will. Indeed. So, like, yeah, we have this. So, when I was playing the last time, I concluded that what this game feels like it does is it throws you into what would have been the, like, middle of most puzzle games. Like, normally puzzle games have, like, a pretty big slow learning curve area to get used to whatever that puzzle system is doing. This game does not do that. This game just kind of throws you into these really difficult, like, no room for error levels. So the first few levels, I don't think I can go back, otherwise I would, like, they're gone once you move past them. But like you know what, but there should be, hold on, let me, okay. Hold on, let me finish this thought and then I'll explain that thing. So, basically a lot of the levels are on a really small area, and so, like, instead of having a bunch of wiggle room to kind of test out things and learn the mechanics, you're just thrown into these puzzles where you have to make perfect movement, and you don't really have room for incorrect choices. Incorrect choices just suddenly means you have to restart the level. So, I mean, it is certainly an approach. I don't know if I agree with the approach. Like, I find it very frustrating. I mean, I think it's a good approach for saying this game's not going to, like, baby you, so to speak, I don't like the term babying people, but the game is going to be difficult. I still think they could have eased you into it a bit. I think the problem is, like, with a lot of puzzle games, a big part of it is just understanding how, like, the mechanics for that puzzle game work. And so normally, like, having you slowly ease into how that game's puzzle mechanics work is a big thing. Not like a Succubon where you move around. No, you do move. You do. That is a. So here, let me go into a level. Okay. So this is a level. So yes, our character, our Steven. There's some interesting movement stuff. So kind of like, I mean, I guess not kind of like Ladybug Quest, but if we want to move, like if I want to move, okay, right now, if I want to move to the sausage, I can press the direction and I walk backwards, right? Right. If I'm facing this way, and now I press the direction towards the sausage, I instead rotate that direction. So, like, you can move forward and backward, but you can't move sideways. You have to turn, and it does a rotation. So that, like, is a little tricky, and you have to get used to it. It's like it's a very weird feeling movement system. And, like, realizing that you can move backwards is really important. Like, if you don't realize you can move backwards, then you can't solve some of the puzzles, which the game doesn't teach you. This game literally, the game does not tell you anything about what you can do. Well, like, at the very beginning it tells you, like, what the movement keys are, but, like, it doesn't tell you how the mechanics of movement work. So then, like, if we do that, if we rotate, that, we push the sausage. So I could push it the other way by doing that. We can also push it by, walking forward. We can also push it by walking backwards. So all of the first level, so we just got to the second area, I guess you say. Like, Stream 1 was the first area, and we unlocked the second area near the end of it. So your goal in the level is to take the sausage, or sausages. Many levels are multiple sausages. And then we need to get the sausage to cook on the grill burners. They burn us. You don't want to get on them. So as you can see, like, sausages are 2 tiles wide. And there is a top and a bottom to them. So we need to, we basically have 4 quadrant. Yeah, 4 quadrants of the sausage, and all 4 quadrants need to cook. And you cannot cook any quadrant 2 times. If you cook it twice, it burns, and it's no longer considered good. Alright, so that's the basic stuff from, like, level 1, right? Or the area 1. What area 2 has introduced is a few new mechanics, that have always existed. They just didn't, like, you couldn't do them in the first area, so it didn't matter. One of these new mechanics is stabbing. Area 1 was entirely flat levels. There were no area levels with, like, a Z access to them, or depending on how you're looking at this, but there was no depth. So, we couldn't stab until Area 2. Now that we have stabbing, we have this new, like, movement mechanic, where once we've stabbed into a sausage, we continue to face that same direction. So now, and then you can unstab by having the sausage stuck on the environment. Ooh. Ooh. Let's see. Oh, you know that. There's also been some interesting, like, little tech stuff you gotta do. So, like, a few levels have made use of the fact that, like, when I go to stand on the burner, right, I walk forward and then get burned, so I back up. But if you are paying attention, you notice that our little stabber goes forward still. So there's been a few levels where you have to push the sausage by walking into the burner to get it to go forward more. Which, like, is a very unintuitive mechanic, but is very important. Like, there was definitely at least one level in the early area that if you didn't understand you could do that, you wouldn't have figured that's how you develop cook fingers. It's true. So that's neat. There's another mechanic. What was the other thing? Oh, this is a very subtle thing, but turning when you, like, can't do the turn, notably, that still causes the fork to go forward, or the skewer, I guess is the right term. So, like, if I do that here, we're gonna push the sausage. See? Even though we didn't turn, because the little skewer turned a little bit, so it pushed it. Also, I realized, like, I don't know, maybe you didn't want to know all the mechanic things that I've learned, but now you know them. I'm sorry. Oh. Like many other puzzle games, there is a rewind button, which is very important. So to stab the sausages as to keep them from rolling. In order, I'm not exactly sure if I interpreted the question. So in order to stab them, you have to push them up against something. Otherwise they roll. So you either, like you normally, like right now, I'm going to push it forward. And then if I go forward again, it will be stabbed. Ooh, this is... Oh, you know what? I think I see what we want to do. We want to be this way and stab, and then unhinge right there. Yeah. Another thing that has come up in Area 2, I don't think it came up in Area 1, but I was waiting for it. I was literally talking about it a whole bunch of times. Boom. Is, when you end a level, you end it by going over to this place. So, like, you'll see a little symbol on the ground, which then gets a little hologram. and then by doing that movement, you exit the level. There has been one level so far that cooking all the sausages was not actually difficult in the level, but cooking all the sausages in a way that you could get back to the exit was difficult. And like, ever since the first time I saw that that was the exit level mechanic, I was like, that's gonna be a thing. Another really weird thing that hasn't come up in a level yet, only in the overworld, is ladders. Ladders were their own like little challenge to figure out how to use. If you go forward into a ladder, it doesn't work. If you go backwards into a ladder, it doesn't work. In order to use a ladder, you have to be facing, is this perpendicular? What is it? I think I have the wrong word, but my brain doesn't want to think of the right word. No, not diagonal. At any rate, tangent? Maybe tangent? No. At any rate, you have to be facing sideways to the ladder. And if the ladder is sideways to you, then you can push up on the ladder to go up. It's such a weird mechanic. It feels really weird to use. But like, this game is very much the like movement of the like character and everything is like against the player. But not necessarily in a bad way. Like, I do think that is intentionally part of the game. Yeah, exactly. These really bizarre constraints on the player is what makes it work. There's no way this is this simple. Like... Oh, here's a good example, by the way. We have to end the level... We're gonna have to end the level right here. There's that symbol on the ground to the left of us. So we gotta figure out, how am I gonna get this sausage? I'm gonna have to get it to be on the other side. We haven't... Okay, I see part of what's weird about this level. We haven't had to do this yet. So normally... Normally it doesn't... There's not only the one grill. Like, normally there's... Yeah, so like, because the sausages always roll like that, if I go back, I'm gonna always do the same spot, right? This is the first time we've had this situation happen, so... Boom! We cooked a sausage. Oh, how do we get rid of the sausage? Boom. Alright. Okay. Is that fine? That's probably not fine, actually. Can I get you? No. How? How do I get you? Huh. So we can stab the end of the sausage, but the issue is finding a way to do that. Like, I don't see a good way to skip to the end of it here. Like, if I go like this, it will plop in the water. Also, like, the first hour of the first stream of this game was literally me just trying to understand how to move in this world. Like, it's just so weird feeling. And to figure out kind of how to understand how to interact with the sausages to get them on grills. We developed some mild sausage brain, which is good. We need sausage brain to solve levels. Sausage brain. Uh-oh. Giorgio, just go get some sausages. We had sausage. So, Torny is very hesitant to try a lot of new foods, right? And Torny has tried, I think years and years and years ago, she tried spicy sausage and didn't like it. So she's never had sausage again since then. And the other day I was like, man, I'm gonna get some sausages. And I was like, hey, if I get some mild sausages, you want to try them? And she was like, sure. And then she was like, oh, hey, mild sausages are pretty good. So we had sausages. It was nice. Wait, what is a disaster sandwich? I'm not familiar with this term. A 3-napkin sandwich? Wait, is this just like... You mean just a really messy sandwich? Like a sandwich that's like piled high with stuff that's like got a lot of condiments on it? Oh. Ooh. That's pretty good. So kind of like a properly made Thanksgiving sandwich that like literally has a... Like if I'm making a proper like leftover Thanksgiving sandwich, it's usually got like 3 slices of bread because I need a slice of bread in the middle to separate some of the stuff. Alright, let's see here. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this level. Okay, let's give this level an attempt. We might leave this level and come back. We saw this level near the end of last stream. This is the Great Tower of Sausage. This level looks really, really complicated. So what we've learned from this level is that sausage can be stacked. And if it's stacked, it interacts in very interesting ways. So there's that. That happens. Look at that. Look at how weird this is. Yeah. Oh. God, I forgot that we can literally rewind, like, out of levels. Yeah, so on top of that, there is this. We can push the sausages, and then the whole tower moves. Oh, and now we stabbed one, so now we can, like, take this sausage with us. So, yeah. Okay. So... We gotta figure this out. A mechanic that we've learned is with L-shaped grills. L-shaped grills let us do. Let me see if I can demonstrate it real quick. So L-shaped grills let us do a thing where we've pushed it onto the grill, right? So it's gone on once, so that quadrant is cooked. So now we can push it forward again, and the other quadrant is cooked without burning the first quadrant. And now, if we have some way of rotating that sausage, like rolling it to the right, then it'll cook the other side, and it'll be perfect. So L-shaped grills are really important for being able to push a sausage onto the grill and then rotate it. And then roll it. I keep saying rotate, I mean roll. Also, like, I do love, like again, the game didn't tell me any of this. This is all just stuff that you have to figure out, and I kind of love that. Ooh, true. You should get an L-shaped grill. That would be probably very helpful for grilling sausages at home. Also, yes, good evening, Artsy. Artsy, how are you doing today? Has today been less stressful from the rest of, You've had a very stressful month already, but how has today been? I'm pretty sure you don't want parts of your sink in the sink. That's not good. I'm trying to... I'm trying to figure out how in the world I'm actually supposed to do this, because I don't know. Oof. Who needs a kitchen sink when you have Kaylee? Kaylee will clean all dishes for you. So, like, this has got to be a trap, right? I can't... If I walk over this, how am I ever going to cook the other side of the sausage? I don't see how that's ever going to happen. Like, okay, I can walk over these sausages, but the sausage I'm walking over right now, like, I'm not going to be able to rotate it into that other grill. Oh, yeah, in order to get to Area 2, we had to learn that. We had to figure that out. Area 2 required walking over a bridge that we had to, like, kind of create out of sausage. I mean, it's not cooked yet. It's only unsanitary if it's already been cooked. You gotta cook that off. Like, I very sadly might just go to a different level because I feel like this level is just so much to try and think about that, it's too much for my brain. I need to understand the basics to how to reproduce everything. Well, how do I restart? Okay, restart. What if we break this down? So we... How do we cook the sausages that are on the ground right now? Like this one. Okay, like let's just break this up, okay? We want to cook this sausage. How do I cook this sausage? Because I don't see how to do that, and that's what's throwing me off. Like, I can cook half of it. There's half of it cooked. But how do I roll it? Oh my god. Okay, hold up.
Hold up.
I think... What the hell? Oh, that was weird. I think I might know. That's not what I meant to do. Oh, that's convenient. Okay. I need... Ew. How do I do this? Oh, I have to break this into 2 groups, don't I? Oh, I think so. So what I want to do is I want to use this, what I just did a second ago. So when you push, when you roll a sausage with this tower, it moves the whole stack, right? That the sausages on top go forward. And what I want to do is I want to have that happen so that sausages go forward, and then I need a sausage to land in... It's not gonna cook both sides of it. Hold on, that's a problem.
Okay, we have to go.
That's only gonna cook 3 of the 4 quadrants. Heck, okay, my whole idea hinged on the fact that, like, a sausage would land on the grill, and then I could push it forward, but that's only gonna cook 3 out of the 4 quadrants of the sausage, not all 4. Yeah, there's just something I don't understand about this level.
Okay.
Because then when it was pushed forward, then I could stab. I would be able to push another sausage in, and I would be able to stab it, and then pull it out, and then, like, rotate it, and then take it to the next one and do the same thing. Like I had an idea. But that idea was hinged on flawed ideas. Which means I'm right back to not knowing what to do. Yeah, so they kind of are, but they only are if you're pushing things onto them. Which I wouldn't be doing in the idea that I just had, so... That's where I'm a little confused. Does this line up? Yes, it does. Okay. Where did I leave that sausage? Excuse me. Yeah, I have to push it. That's what makes them, like, work perfectly, because I have to push it onto them first, and then roll them. so I don't know how that works. This I did it again. You go this way. See, like, boom. So that's gone there. So now if it rolls onto the other part of that L grill, it'll be fully cooked. I can walk to here. Oh my god! That's a mechanic! Oh my god, walking on sausages is a mechanic! But rolling them with my feet is a mechanic! Jesus! There is log rolling! There is sausage log rolling as a mechanic! We didn't... Artsy! Artsy! We didn't know we could do it like this, because I haven't been able to be on top of the sausages, like, for more than, like, this level and another, like, little bit. Like, this just hasn't come up yet. Oh, wow, that changes a lot. Okay. Okay, but Artsy, the sausage rolling is normally, like, us rolling the sausages, like this. Like, look at how this sausage rolls. See? That's what it's meant this whole other time. Okay, you know what? That's fair. I do think that this game very much punishes you for not having imagination. The sausages really go balance quite go. It's true. Okay, so that is a huge deal. Wow. Okay, so... So then we would have a sausage here. And... like, this like attempt at this level is not a successful attempt. I'm not trying to have it be a successful attempt. I'm just trying to learn what else I can do. Do you die if a sausage falls on you? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like if they fall on me, then I just have a sausage on me. I think I have to take a ladder. I was thinking about that. Like, in order to get to the other ladder, I have to have... Okay, yeah, I have to have the sausage in the cooked space, on the other side. Hello, Gidge. Gidge, I told you yesterday I probably wasn't playing Plate Up this today. You knew this. You were also very sleepy, though. Oh! Oh, we roll in here now! Oh, we drowned. Gidge, I will play more Plate Up. So my plan is to play Plate Up about once a week. Most likely I'll play it more than once a week for a bit. I don't know how much, but my plan is about once a week. Oh gosh, that movement is so weird. Okay, I'm going to leave this level. I want to go to another level where I feel like I can make more progress. For now. We'll come back to that level. Oh, that's true. You really want the grass flavor in your sausage. Alright, let's see. Oh, there's gaps. Okay, so we have 2 sausage. I got a little burner. Alright. We can push them there. Ooh. I do not know how to get rid of a sausage that I stabbed from the side. That's a problem. Okay, so stabbing in from the side of the sausage is an issue because I don't see a way to get it back out. Hello, Zia. Zia, who's probably not actually here for realsies, because I believe Zia is watching Colette Souls. But thank you for the follow. I am also watching Colette Souls. Okay, well, we can burn, we can cook part of the sausage. Alright, cook the other part of the sausage. Okay, this side is also a problem. Okay. Okay, there's really only one side I can grip these sausages right now, it looks like. Because I can only get it back out from this side, so... Okay. How do I... I also love Zia's cat. Zia has a good cat. Most people have good cats. Or I guess not most people have good cats. Most cats are good. No, not all cats are beautiful. So Torny says that all cats are beautiful, but what she is neglecting to mention is that there are those naked cats, and I hate the naked cats. I mean, I love the cats, but they look like testicles, and I just, you know, I'm sorry, but I need the poof. I need the poofiness. I did know someone who had a naked dog, and the naked dog looked like a little pig, and it was so cute. But, like, naked cats don't look like little pigs. I'm sorry. I don't remember whose it is. I might like it. I might not like it. It depends. I feel like probably not. Maybe if they're in little sweaters. I don't know. Most naked cats I've seen, I'm like, it needs a little sweater or something.
Luckily, a lot of naked cats like sweaters because it's warm.
That's true. Was Jill's cat? This doesn't progress anything. Gosh. How do we get this stabbed in its other side? Wait, unless I don't stab it in its other side? Is the whole trick here gonna be that I need to, like, cook both sides, like this? Maybe. I don't know how to cook the other side, though. Okay, well... Oh, I guess if I could have rolled it onto that side, I wouldn't have this issue, right? We just roll it. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay, we have one cooked sausage. Perfect. So now we need to get the other sausage over here. So how do we do that? Can we get the sausage pushed back over there? Let's see. Can we do that? This is the part where I don't know how to get it to go forward more. Sausage, I need you. The sounds of stabbing perfectly line up with impaling the sausage. Wonderful. I didn't watch Ali, and I'm not watching Rat play Sekiro because, like, part of me is like, maybe one day I will play it. It's is it Sekiro or Sekiro? It's Sekiro, right? Sekiro. I don't know. But it was the first, like, FromSoft game that actually looked interesting to me as a concept, because I was like, oh, this, like, I don't know, it looked very intriguing to me. But I never watched anything of it. I watched Ali play a little bit of a boss, and that actually is the first time I have decided I might not play the game, because I thought the bosses were going to be more like the other FromSoft game bosses. They were like bigger monsters. So when I saw the boss was like a kind of regular dude, I was like, oh, this is suddenly less interesting. So no, never. I'm still just torn. I don't know if I want to play the game. And then Elden Ring came out, and Elden Ring I did almost purchase. I don't know. Elden Ring, there was a lot of people that, like, was like, they're all enjoying Elden Ring. Maybe I should play Elden Ring. And the open worldness and the, like, different theme of it, it seems very interesting. Like, I'm still thinking I might one day play Elden Ring. I don't know how to get to this sausage. We can get a sausage here, but I can't get on the other side of this. So I'm like, what am I to do? And I can't get these sausages to switch places because I can't reach whatever sausage I leave over there. Let's restart this level. Okay, so... Oh, fun fact what you can do in this game. Literally, like, every action you make is rewindable, including restarting the level. So if you rewind, you just rewind to wherever you were. So, like, restarting the level isn't that big of a deal. That's kind of nice. That being said, most levels, I feel like, are not, most levels are not like restarting them isn't usually that big of a deal, because it's not that they're complicated to repeat the steps, it's that even understanding the basic steps is what's like a trick. So I don't usually mind restarting the levels. I like this puzzle a lot more than the tower. I feel like the best puzzle... Yes, no, this is the tower is the first and so far only level of that style that I've come across. This level is way more typical of what the levels have been like, although in Area 1 the levels were usually much smaller spaces. Like, a lot of levels were just the size of this little platform I'm on right here, like this square. They were very tiny. I don't think stabbing these from over here would change anything. Like, let's just, as a thought experiment. Get that there. Okay, obviously, we established earlier that if I stab a sausage like this, I don't think I can get it back out.
I like the
So this is a problem. Let's see. If we take a sausage here, we can move it into that gap. But now we can't get to the other side. We have no way of getting over there. I'm pretty sure moving the other sausage over there won't change anything, but because I need to touch a stove to figure out that it's hot, we're gonna just move the sausage there. Okay, yes, still not working. Perfect. Alright, I mean, that really leaves us with our only way of moving sausages to be this little gap area. And leaving it like this doesn't do anything, because I still need to be able to get it from the other side, like... Okay, let's just thought experiment here. Okay, so we have this sausage from here. We know that we can get this sausage fully cooked. We've figured that out before. So, what else can we do? So if we have the sausage, we fully cook it, now we put it back here. Can we somehow swap the sausages? Can we do a sausage swap? I don't know where I'm going with this. I feel like I need some way of impaling it from here. Is there some way to impale one of the sausages? Hold on, let's try this. If we could impale a sausage like this, right, then we could walk sideways with it, and then walk backwards here. And then get it out there and move it. Wait. Let's find out how far back my rewind goes, because I just realized I think we could have solved the attempt with the one cooked sausage. I think I just realized what to do. Okay, okay. Yes. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. That... I feel very silly for not realizing that earlier. I feel kind of silly that that level took so long, because that... I don't understand, like, I feel like I did the movements early on and then just didn't realize I could do them again. Like, I don't know. That was very silly. Okay, next level. The other thing that's kind of fun about this game, that you might have noticed, you might not have because we've only been in a few levels, but the levels are like parts of the overworld. Like when I go in this, like these grills are going to be actual grills in a level. Like when I walk into this little thing, we're gonna start a level that is like where we're at. Okay, well those grills are to a different level, but still. You can see local hot grills in your area. This was a bait. We almost fell for it. We almost fell for it, but we will not fall for this. Haha! Oop. And now, you, get out of the way. Oh. How do I get you? Do I do that? What's that? There we go. Okay. And now we can take you and do that. And now We can take you and move you there. Boom! This level easy peasy. Oh. Alright, let's see here.
I think we hopped on there.
Alright. Oh, I think I see a problem here. Getting it back off of there like that might be an issue. Okay, so I think you want to be like that so that we can walk forward like that.
I thought I could
Oh,
survive that.
oh, huh, huh, uh-huh, boom, boom.
Like, I thought we could
Uh, no, we don't want to stab it like this. We need to rotate it first. How can we do that? That's a problem. Boom. 2 levels in a row. Alright, so we have an L grill and a regular grill. Oh. Okay.
slightly less.
God, I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting why. Okay. Let's just restart the level. Okay. So we're going to need to get them over here. Does it matter which one I get over here first? I do see that the way we normally make use of L grills is kind of hard to do here. Yeah, there's a question. Maybe Steve is just trying to make use of the kitchens that are being provided to them. Like, Steve's like, I know what, I got my little sausage skewer, and I'll make it work. You know, you give me a sausage, and I'll cook your sausage. Like, that's it. Easy agreement. Topology experience preferred. Imagine. I feel like in this level I need to use one of the sausage to skewer the other sausage, and I can't figure out which is which. So like, I'm gonna talk my way through this level. So we have this pillar here. We can't use this pillar to lock in a sausage because... Hold on, can I just like... Wait. Do this? I can do this. Why Alright, good talk. Good talk. Glad we had this talk. Oh, this is a problem. So we can't unsausage. That's a problem. I could like unsausage right here, but that would drop my sausage. We don't want to drop the sausage. That's not helpful. What if this is the level that I need to make use of that mechanic? Let's see here. Let's go roll you there. Ah, crap. That's right. I can't do that here. Oh, wait. Like this? Okay. Alright. How do we... I think I might have screwed this up already, but wait, no. Heck, I can't go back. Oh, that's not good. Okay, well, what happens if I get over here with this? Okay, well, we can't get to the other side of this either. This may not be the solution. I really wish I had a rotate body button. Is the, like, gimmick to this that I just need to push the sausages together? What if, okay, hold on, let's...
Like they're not even dead.
Okay, I think we're gonna come back to this level. I don't understand something about that level.
Oh,
There were once great people here, but now there is something even greater. Sausage. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
How goes sausage?
We are sausaging. We've done like I don't know, 3 levels maybe? We've done a healthy amount of sausage levels.
Nice.
Oh, you know what? I want to do the other side first. How do I do the other side first? Hmm. I feel like in theory this level's very simple, but like...
Fire.
Alright, I think we've figured this out. I think we're brain.
Those are some good Colette noises.
I try not to hold down my microphone when there's some Colette screaming. It's really funny. Oh, you know what? Let's not be a dummy. Let's not put that other half of sausage there until we have both ready to go, because there's no reason to. Boom. a lot of these levels feel like they're just figuring out how to make a series of movements. Oh, not that movement though. I need this movement. Like, I can see a way, I feel like, to flip where the sausages are. But the problem is, I need to be able to puncture a sausage that is where this raw one is. And do it in a way that I can then bring it over this. Oh, actually, hold on. I think I just figured it. Okay, hold on. Now, uh-oh. Wait, no, I can't have you... Hold on, you need to come back over here. Oh... Okay, well that's a problem. But I think, so I end the level by pushing them like that. That's what I was not realizing. But I can't have that sausage all the way over there. We need to be closer to the land. Okay, now I think we can finish this level. So this one can be on this side. This is you're no way. Boom. God, we are very quickly approaching the last 2 levels in this area, and they're both levels I really don't want to do. Okay, that would be another thing I don't really like about this game. This is a minor complaint, but most games that are like this style, like kind of difficult puzzler type things, most of the time you have to solve like X out of Y total levels in order to move on. So like, you know, you might need to solve like 8 out of 10 levels, and then you can explore other things. So that like, there's some leeway. If there's levels that like just really stump you, then you have some leeway to do something else. And like maybe to do 100% of the game, you're gonna have to go back and do those levels, like, or to get like the final ending. But like, you're not just kind of locked there. This game requires you to do 100% of an area to move on. So like, Area 1, we've done all of the Area 1 levels. Because we had to. Doing all of them is what unlocked this. And this was a little sausage. We got this sausage. What happens if I, like, dunk? Oh my god, we just lose. Goodness gracious. Wait, does that mean I'm gonna have to cook this sausage eventually? Sus. Anyway. Trying to see if I can even, like, get it back out from there. I don't see how I would get it out from there. Okay, we lose there. I can do that, and then I can push this sausage to the other side. But I can't get to the other side anymore. Interesting. I do have a sneaking suspicion that eventually we're gonna somehow need to cook those sausages. But yeah, so we had to do 100% in order to unlock this overworld sausage. And the overworld sausage allowed us to cross this bridge, which let us get to this area where presumably 100% of the levels here will unlock this sausage. And that sausage will, I think, let me go left. I think left is where Yeah, if I could get a sausage right here, then I could go up here and go this way. Alright, well, I guess we'll come to this level that I'm not really excited to play. Like, both of the last two levels are not levels I love, so we will go through them. Trying to think of how to do this. So there's one L grill for each sausage, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So I think one sausage needs to go on each grill. The two sausages that are on the very top need to go on the two grills on the very left, I think. Okay. No. So herein lies the issue. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I need to get these rolly sausages to go that way. Okay, so I think we do this, then we do this. Okay, and then we do it again. I think twice is correct. Oh, no, we did not want a sausage to fall. Sausages falling is not good. Maybe? I thought maybe starting on the top was correct, but I think starting on top is wrong. So let's try this. Okay, now how do I deal with this? Some of these, like, really convoluted ways of like, the interaction with how trying to move up and down the ladder works with rotating. So, like, yeah, the 100% being required, I hate. Most of this game, like, even though, like, it's I think an antagonistic to the player kind of style game, most of it I actually like the design of. I think it's pretty good. Like, this level I don't like, but that's fine. I think it's a fine level. I really I think one of the few design choices I've really disagreed with is the needing to 100% each area to move on. I mean, the upside to that might be that you know that the player had to have understood the mechanics. Because, like, Area 1, I feel like almost all the levels had some little tiny mechanic you were, like, required to learn. And similarly, Area 2, I feel like most levels have had some kind of minor demonstration of understanding some of these mechanics. But, like, I still would rather, like, just be able to move on and not perfectly know it. And then if, you know, Area 3 I struggle with it, then maybe I learn the mechanic in Area 3, or maybe I don't. Maybe I come back here, like, who knows. But let me move on without doing 100% of the levels. That would be nice. But anyway, so, like, the ladder thing. So, I talked about this earlier. The ladders, you have to, like, be sideways at them. But I just discovered they do an interesting interaction. So if I go forward with my skewer facing the ladder, I can't go down the ladder, right? But now if I press up, I rotate, which is now pushing the top layer of sausage that way. And similarly, if we do this, we get backwards to the ladder, and then we push up. Then if I go to the right, I attempt to move down the ladder, but I can't move down the ladder because the sausages block me. Like, I push that sausage, but then the sausage on the ground is preventing me from going down. That is a really interesting thing. Like, that's just building upon the rules that have already been established, I feel like. And that's kind of cool. It's a very complex, like, thing. I don't know if it'll matter, but it could matter. Also, I thought I heard Colette just say, "Am I about to be cute?" And I'm not directly watching. I'm mostly listening to Dark Souls, so I don't know the context for this. The reason I thought I would start left was because I want the sausages that are on the top to the left, but I don't see a good way to get them there.
So what if I'm already...
That's exactly what I needed to happen! Oh, that's so good. Okay, okay, okay.
92. What, I hit
Oh.
like 30?
Um,
Now I gotta run back.
now here's the question. Well, you know what, we can undo. So I'll push this here,
Like, do I really
and now
expect
that
myself
one...
to be able to avoid Curtis's shit?
Oh, that sausage fell too... Okay, hold on. We need to undo. We need that to fall one time sooner. This might be okay.
Oh, I didn't know I could make myself do. Wow!
This might not be okay. I need the sausages on this
No, I'm not.
that are above this to be there. Oh! Whoa! What?
No!
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
We can rotate a sausage! We have sausage rotation ability.
MS-DOS.
Holy hell. Oh wow, this is big. Oh, this is the first time we've been able to rotate a sausage. Oh my gosh. There is a issue, and the issue is that I don't think we have any way of getting a sausage off of us. So clearly we need like a tunnel or something. Like what happens? Okay, okay. Move. Move. Can I... No, that pushes you. Ah, the sausages don't get off. Okay. Okay, this is clearly not what we're supposed to do in this level, but like... We do have a sausage pompadour. Also, Torny, you... Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I imagine if there were like a taller obstacle.
Yeah, we need some sort of like a bridge, like to go under, to have it like push the sausage off of our head. But that's definitely gonna be an important thing to know about. Okay, so we're back to kind of square one, not entirely square one, but like half square one. What the hell? What? Why is one sausage rolling? What? Our head is supporting the other one?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
God, that's like this game has so much like almost secretly going on. Like I feel like it's just a set of rules. But the rules are very thoroughly executed. Like that's both great and terrifying. Okay, that went too far. That's an issue. Okay, but hold on. We can control that? Question mark? Oh. What happens? No, because we need you to fall one step sooner. Oh! Okay, that fell in the correct spot. But the top things aren't where I need them. Because now I can push that one forward, so I can do what I need. But how do I get you? That's not what I want. I need the sausage. I just don't see a way of pushing the rest of that sausage over there. I need one link. So, what my, like, theory is on how we do this level is we somehow get, like, our whole tower over here. And then we need to somehow get it so we can push it and then fling things. So we want to, like, push the sausage, like move a piece out, move it out like that, and then push the tower forward, and then move another piece out, and push it forward. And then the whole tower will be, like, on this wall, and we can follow it, and then we will push it left. At least that's what makes sense in my head, but I don't see how we actually do that. Because we're not going to be able to swap the pieces back and forth. That's not going to work. Okay, so we are... Our whole grand plan with this is wrong. Let's restart. How do I get the ones to the top of those? Oh, that's weird. Oh, goodness, I hate that. So how do I get sausages to go forward onto that thing. Ah! Oh! Interesting. Hello, boy B. Goodbye, boy B. That boy be trying to eat your rice leftovers. So, we can go up here, go across here. We lose, yeah, we lost another sausage on the ground. We can't, another sausage on the ground is unacceptable, so. We can get all four. Hmm. Okay. So we need to like drop sausages off. What we need to do is we need to get like a sausage on like this part or something. Or we need to get two like sausages in stacks on here. So like one here and then we push it forward. And then we get up. And we push the next one forward. Okay, like what if let's test this out here. Let's move this sausage out of the way. Now, the whole thing comes with me, right? Yes.
It's so fucked up because like, this isn't what I thought was happening.
Now, what happens? Oh!
And the other fucked up.
That's what we want! That's... No.
Not the fucked up
No.
curse area.
What did we... Okay.
Yeah,
We have a sausage on a sausage, which is what we wanted. But this is like... what do we do with this? I don't think this is okay. We didn't like really drop it off. Oh gosh, and those sausages are gone. Okay. Okay, we don't want that. We don't want... I mean, I don't think we want that either, but... Oh, man. I would love to finish World 2 before the end of stream. But I'm also very worried because I just am not understanding how to deal with getting a sausage from the top of the tower onto each of the second tiers. I am at a point, if anyone has a suggestion, or a hint, I would take a hint for that, because that is really stumping me. I feel like it has to do with some sort of weird rotational thing now. Like, I hope this isn't it. That's terrible. Hello, Kerr. Good evening. Kerr, I feel like... I don't know what that emote is from. I mean, I see that it is your emote. But I worry that that's somehow a spoiler of something. Probably Rain World. The sausage fuckery has been going alright so far. We've done all of the levels in World 2, except for 2 of them, and in order to move on, we have to finish all of the levels. So, we are trying to finish those 2 levels. One of them is this tower level that is pretty cursed. And the other one, let's go to the other level for a little bit. The tower level we've made some big brain progress with, but not enough to solve the level. There's like one element of the level I'm still missing, so... the other one... I would love a popsicle, thank you.
Ice cream bar or melon?
Ice cream bar. Okay, the other one is this level, which is equally terrible. So this level, we have a tiny platform. We have 2 grills over there that are terrible to get to. These 2 grills. And, we have to somehow get these sausages over here. Yes, popsicle. Thank you. Although I am having ice cream bar, not popsicle, so I'm sorry for the deceit. Delicious ice cream bar. Torny's having mango malona. This is the correct way to eat ice cream bar. Anyway, so this level's tricky because clearly we have to like stab the sausages to bring them over, but I need to stab them in a way that doesn't seem possible. So this game hits some block pushing bullshit for you. I mean, that's fair. I was kind of talking about it earlier, but overall, I understand why a lot of people really like this game. The design is very much hostile to the player, but I think it's done in a way that's overall pretty good. There's been a couple of things I disagree with design-wise, but but I feel like it's done in a way that makes it the game, control, what we were talking about earlier was that, the controls, are so funky, and, you're just getting used to the controls, and the game doesn't give you time to get used to the controls, Area 1 is, you're already being punished for not understanding the controls. And that's how you're thrown into the game. So, I mean, like, that's... I don't know, it kind of sets up the game, it seems like. And so, I don't know if I love all of that. Like, I don't really like how the game started. I think the game should have started a little more introductory. But, you know, it's fine. Really, the biggest thing that I don't like about the game, so far one of the only things that I really don't like, I strongly disagree with, is that you need to 100% an area to move on to the next area. I think you should be able to, like, 80% or something. You know, maybe, like, 75%. Some amount that isn't 100. I think 100 is a bit silly. Okay, so that is cooking both sides there. Do we want to cook both sides? I don't know. I feel like we don't want this sausage still, but I don't have a way of getting rid of it that I can figure out.
Sounds like a skill issue.
It is a skill issue. Oh, that doesn't let me stab it. Ah! I thought this was gonna let me stab this. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay. So we need to stab you like this. There we go. Oh, I can't get this one over here, though. Ah! That's a problem. This is kind of a big problem. What do we do once we get the... We need to have this one stabbed like this to go over there, don't we? I guess technically not. I think there's one other way we could stab this to get it over there, but the other way doesn't let us win the level, because the other way would be like this, and then doing that, which will let us get this over here, but we can't rotate it, so... Yeah. I don't think the game entirely... I mean, maybe it does. And especially, like, maybe later. Because, again, as Red Sail is mentioned, which also, hello, good day, Red Sail. Hope you're doing well. But as they've mentioned, like, I am at the beginning of the game still. But at least for me, I haven't felt like I need to have, like, a bunch of steps memorized, because I get the rewind. So it's like I get a... Or, like, I don't have to, I haven't felt like I need to figure out 20 steps ahead. I just need to figure out a little bit at a time. And maybe that's why the 2 levels I have remaining are the 2 I'm struggling with, because these 2 I have needed to, like, know more. Like, there's something I'm fundamentally missing about this level. I don't know if it's necessarily planning a lot in ahead, but the tower level, there's, like... The tower level is exactly what you're describing. The tower level, every little move I make affects all of the sausages on the tower. And there's so many permutations of what you can do. Because, like, you can push a bit of sausage and then rotate your body, which affects some of the sausages based on, like, your head movement and where your skewer is. Like, that is crazy. And that... I mean, that kind of thing, assuming later levels really make use of that would be a huge barrier. Yes, I compared it either... Yeah, like, at some point during my first stream of this, I was talking about how this is like a Rubik's Cube. Like, a lot of levels are trying to figure out how to set up your solutions, and then it's just implementing them. Like, with a Rubik's Cube, at least a standard one, it's just knowing how to implement the keys. And I feel like that's what a lot of these are. Wait, how? Wait. Hold on, we're thinking. We're having thoughts. Wait a second. Okay, hold up. Hold up. You... I need to stab you here. And then... we do this. Question mark? Is this a... Oh no, because now I can't rotate. That's why this didn't work the first time. Heck. My rotate is how I get you. Ah. Have you played Human Resource Machine? No. I feel like I was recommended it. I don't remember anything about it, though. I don't even remember looking at it. Like, I feel like I looked at it. I don't... Artsy, I think I've been recommended that game by more than just you. Probably also you, though. That sounds correct. But I'm pretty sure... Because that game isn't, like, recent, right? That game came out, like, a while back. True, Artsy. Artsy recommendations are very powerful. They're I can't even say it's like the equivalent of 10 recommendations, because that would imply that they're even on like some sort of equivalent plane, which they are not. To think so is preposterous. Gosh, like I hate that I can't rotate. Let me rotate! So we can push that sausage pretty much all the way to the grills. But I don't think we can push the sausage. The sausage that I currently have skewered, I cannot push to the grills. Because the sausage that I currently have skewered, is like wrong. I have a Steam friend invite. What is this? What? Steam, are you, like, lying to me? Or are you telling me things from, like, yesterday? I think Steam literally just gave me a notification from, like, 24 hours ago. Good job, Steam. I'm proud of you. It gave me a notification for now. I don't think so. So it said I had a friend invite, but it doesn't say I have any pending Steam friend invites. So I don't think that's correct. And around this time yesterday is when Gidge sent me the invite. Okay, okay. I see what Steam did. Steam's notifications are just fucked up. So the toast notification that popped up said I had a friend invite. Which again was the last notification I had because that was yesterday when Gidge sent me the invite. And then right now, when I clicked notifications, it literally said I didn't have any new notifications. And I even refreshed Steam. I went to the full open notifications. I was like, okay, what if instead of the little icon, what if we just go to the entire notifications page? In which it shows that you sent me human resource machine. Thank you, Kerr. Maybe if we end up giving up on Sausage Game, we will switch to that. Because, I'm a little worried that there is a non-zero chance that we genuinely cannot beat, like, the last 2 levels we have of this world in Sausage Game. That's gonna put a real damper on us progressing. I mean, I feel like this level I should be able to beat. I feel like it would be stupid to be stuck on this level. The tower level is the one that I'm like, okay, we might not beat the tower level because I can understand me not being able to beat that. Hold on. Can I? That's my correct. Once I get that sausage on that wall, I can't get it off the wall, so we don't want the sausage on the wall. We do not want wall sausage. Do you smell fire?
Yeah.
I assume it's nothing like us, right? Hold on. Just BRB for a second. There's like a kind of strong, like, burning smelling. So, just need to go investigate that.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well... Seems like the apartments are fine. There's nothing we see. It's just... My guess is it's just evening time and probably somebody in a X mile radius is like burning their own wood, and because it's evening, like that smoke is falling down a little bit. It smells the same way it smells when there's like a forest fire. There's forest fires in Washington like every summer basically for the last, handful of years. And it smells like forest fire smoke, but like there's no signs of a fire nearby. So I was just unaware of any forest fires nearby recently, so wasn't expecting that smell. Anyway, we have a sausage. I don't think I know about this website. I mean, I did check, like, the local air quality site, because, I mean, that's something that I've checked every now and then. Like, when there's enough smoke in the air, it's usually reported in the air quality alerts. Fire.airnow.gov. My area is listed as all green, which I assume is good. And even if I zoom out, like... Oh, you know what? Hold on. There's a little yellow zone. How far away is that from me? The yellow zone is like 30 miles away from me, so not super close. But I will, I will bookmark that and check it out in the future, because, like, Eastern Washington gets, like, fires regularly. They had zombie fires for a few years.
Sorry, what fires?
Zombie fires? Zombie fires are fires that basically, they live underground. So, like, it gets so hot that roots of trees start burning, and the embers keep smoldering for, like, an entire season. So then they can live under, like, snow, so you can get, like, a whole bunch of snow that's above ground, and there is fire kindling below the snow underground. And then later, when it starts to warm up above ground again, the fires can start spreading again. So they're called zombie fires, because they're not dead. They're the undead fires. Yeah, there is. When I zoom out a little bit more, there are some fires in Eastern Washington right now. So I mean, that is a thing. Maybe there's some smoke coming in. It's not being listed to affect our air quality though, but they are listed. Just had to go look at Alaska. Let's go look at Alaska. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Rip Alaska right now.
Jesus.
That's
All
a lot of...
North America is just...
Well, I mean, Canada, yeah. Alaska is a bunch of fire emoji. A bunch of Canada is still the yellow... The little yellow, notes. Oh, man. This is no good. No good. Are the little gray boxes supposed to represent smoke? Interesting. That's true. That is definitely more exact. a lot of times if I just Google search, so like Google probably pulls its data from there, since like, you know, Google, if you Google a standard like statement type thing, Google just tries to pull data from something that's like, so I will usually Google like my city name and then that, and it pulls data from somewhere, and I mean it tells you where you can get the sources from. I just never click sources with those results usually. But I do know a lot of times it pulls it from government sites, like that's come up before. Oh my goodness. That one, a go, go, go. Alright. 3 of them. You said that after I already changed it. I'll go change it again, though. Alright. It has now been set. If I go this way, I push it there, and I feel like I don't want it there. Wait. But I can, okay, I can do that. That's fine. And then we can rotate back here.
Oh, it's a covenant.
And then we can do that. Okay.
Okay, so I'm...
We can do this. How goes Sausage Souls? It was going great. We have done all of World 2 except for 2 levels. These two levels are terrible though, and these two levels alone might prevent us from moving on in the game. This is where we're currently at. I just noticed how far away from the body Steven's feet go. Steven's got some strong Rayman vibes. Oh, that's just... I feel like that's a lost cause. I don't know how I can unstick that sausage again. And we still don't know what to do about this other sausage. And we can't do anything more if we do that with you. Like, we need to somehow get the sausages over there without being stuck to either of them, because we don't have a good way to roll them. Like we're gonna need to do the roll maneuver. And then we have this whole issue where, like, the sausage that goes here, normally with the L ones, they work because we, like, push over the other side, like we'd push onto this side and then roll over, which I can't really do. If I'm speared like this, we can. So if I'm speared down, then we would go right to, but then I can't, like, unhinge it. Like, current move set. Like what things I can do? Or what I can learn I can do. I will say that's a big thing in this game, is that, the stuff that you inherently can just always do, but you don't realize you can do until it just comes up, is kind of baffling. That happened a lot in the tower level, which is the other level that we're stuck on, because I've learned a lot of movement in that level that is intense. I'm gonna restart this. So we found a lot of ways to rearrange these sausages. There is some serious tech of, like, movement tech in this game. I feel like this game has a lot of, like, movement tech that would be, like, extra in most games, but is very much, like, required in this game. But so we've figured out with these sausages, there's a lot of different ways we can get them to so that we can stab them in lots of different orders. The problem with stabbing them is obviously we need to unstab them. Also, stabbing sausages like this is so far always a bad idea because we can't unstick a sausage that is stuck like this. So you should only do this if doing so will then let you win the level. Which, like, for all I know, this level will have a thing that's like that because it looks like the ending gate faces this way, and we can notably cook a sausage partially like this, and then we could back up. So, like, it definitely feels like this level could require doing that. Anyway. Some other things going on with this level. I need to figure out how to set it up again. Well, I mean, we could do something like this. So if I do it like this, then I can walk over there. No, I'm missing something. There was something I did earlier where I could get over there with one of the sausages and cook like 2 sides of it. But I ran into the issue of not being able to really do anything after that. Like, I don't even think I had a good way to unhinge the sausage. Obviously we can push sausages into each other. Oh, right, that's what. So if we do this, we move over here. That's not what I want to do. We move over here and push this sausage back 2. Actually, back 3 is still safe. Then we can do that. And then we can do that. And now we can... Is this... No. This is how I want it. And now this sausage we can take to like over here and unhinge there and do this. Yeah, so this is the one that I figured this out with. So now I can do that. That lets me notably cook that part. I could even push it in, but that'd be a bad idea. I can do that. That's a bad idea. Can't do a whole lot with this. Because we can't undo that. We can now move like this. Oh, hold on. Can we get backwards? If we could get backwards, we could do something else. Can we... Hold on. Let's see if we can enter this area backwards. Yeah, these really prevent us from doing a lot of things that we want to. Oh. Oh, heck, no. That's not helpful. Why was I trying to do that? Anyway, so the point is we can get that sausage over there. I don't really know what to do with it once it's over there, because it doesn't seem like we can do a whole lot with it. Like, and then we have this other sausage. If we do that, we have this other sausage that is still here. And this was the issue with us doing this the last time, is that this sausage over here is kind of stuck. We can push it like this up until that point. Wait, hold on. No, I can get that farther, I think. No? Can I not get that farther? I thought I could get that farther. Oh, that was one of the things we tried. So I was like, oh, I could get this farther if I wasn't being forced to, if I wasn't being forced to, like, rotate. Like, if I could just stand in here. But I needed the rotation to get it to start, so... Like, I think... Yeah, if it's like that, we would need to be able to rotate. So if I push it here... If I'm stabbed in like this, then I can go down. And then over. Because down would do that. And then I go over, which would do that. And then I would walk backwards again, which would do that. And then... Maybe that's right. Hold on. Okay. So horizontal sausage. This is horizontal sausage, this one. Because we're going to go off of the grid that's on the bottom. So horizontal sausage, we push and we stab into vertical sausage. Did we try this? I feel like we did try this. But maybe not. Let's just double check. We'll make sure we tried this. Okay. Boom. Okay. We'll do this, 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 this. And then... this. I don't know where we want to deposit the sausage. I mean, we could deposit the sausage there, but that doesn't seem helpful. This has got to be the right track, though, because this is the first time we've had both sausages over here, even though I could have sworn I tried this already. Okay. So let's think about this. Yeah, it feels pretty good to have our sausage here. Okay. So this sausage down here, we can... If we puncture, can we unpuncture it? That's the question. So we're gonna do this just for testing purposes. You're cooked.
That didn't work.
But you're not cooked. I don't remember what the add quote command is. Minish might remember. I really need to, like, note some of the commands that I use and, like, save them. Okay. This... quote add. I need to figure out how to add custom commands too. Well, I mean, like, I know how to make simple custom commands, but I should be able to make like essentially a modified version of the quote command that is like just add quote, so it matches the other one. I need to learn the bot stuff. The documentation for the Stream Elements bot is not really great. I tried learning it. It's not entirely written out, it seems like. Like, there's things you can do with it that just aren't in the documentation. So I was thinking about, like, I do use a bot. Obviously the one that connects the Discord to Twitch. Ruddy built that bot for me. I don't think the code for it is online right now, but I asked Ruddy about maybe putting the code into a GitHub, because I was thinking about maybe trying to start modifying it and adding more things. Like, there's just a lot of things that would be simpler to put directly into the bot. But also I'm not sure, like, how much stuff I want posting from my own and how much stuff I would want, like, on its own account, like a bot account. I like the idea of a bot account. But I also like the idea of being able to have, like, commands that are based on the fact that my account is doing it. I don't see a good way to get this sausage off of me, so that's a problem. Like, that doesn't get the sauce out. Okay. So we have some really good stuff going on here. But we really need to be able to get this, unstuck. Okay, so we do have to push that one against the wall. This is what I was like rewinding to see. Pushing it against the wall is an issue though. But I don't see any way around that. So right here it's not against the wall. But I don't think I can do anything about it not being against the wall. Like, yeah, we need to be stuck in this sausage the way that we are, as opposed to like on the upper part of it, because we need to go the push down, otherwise we wouldn't be able to progress. So, if we back up, if we were stuck in the sausage in the other part, then we would try and like we would just push this off, like that. That wouldn't be helpful. So we need to be in our current way, which lets us go there. Ooh, Kerr, yeah, that's very... that's one of those, I realize you don't see it at first type things, but a big oof once it's pointed out. Oh, no. Okay, who was it? I think it was Logan earlier. Lorgan. Sorry. I think it was Lorgan earlier that was asking about movement tech stuff. So, some of the stuff in the tower level that we learned about for movement tech is that, like, a sausage on top of you allows you to rotate the sausage, which isn't something I've had to worry about yet, but is clearly going to be, like, a fundamentally important mechanic. And I kind of hate that. Like, I both love and hate it, I guess I should say. It's not a usable mechanic in the sausage in that tower level, as far as I could tell, because, in that level, like, you can't get the sausages off your head, so it's not helpful. But I was fascinated by that. Okay, so as far as I can tell, there's only two places I can unstuck this. I can unstuck it here, or here. I don't think these fundamentally are different, because if I do it there, then I just push this back here. Like we end up being in the same spot. We'll leave it there for a moment, though. Ah! Ah ha ha ha! Ah ha 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 ha! Ah ha 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 ha! Ah, wait. Yeah, let's go ahead and cook you. Okay. Okay. You. You. Oh! Holy heck! We done it! Oh my god. Okay. We just needed the power of explaining why the level was impossible. A classic. A classic move. You know, it's fascinating. A lot of puzzle games have literally impossible puzzles that somehow become solvable when you explain why they're impossible. Therefore, the level is impossible. Lorgan, I know you've been in a handful of my streams. I don't know if you've, I don't know how many I've streamed that are like puzzle games like this. I am well known, mostly by Minish, for, claiming that puzzles are genuinely impossible to solve when they very much are clearly possible. Like, also, Oat, how was Nancy Drew? I fell asleep last night before your stream ended, which I was bummed about because I was really enjoying that stream. And I saw that you streamed while I was at work today, which I was also bummed about because the Nancy Drew is so good. Use that on Baba, various Sakabans, Puddle Knights. I'm unfamiliar with Puddle Knights. But also, yes, Baba is definitely a game. I don't think I can count how many times I said that Baba Is You levels were unsolvable. Let's see here. We're back to Sausage Tower. Oh boy. Nancy Drew has been fun, but it's so hard. I gotta say, I didn't watch the beginning of your Nancy Drew stream because I missed that. So literally all of the Nancy Drew stream I've seen so far is just last night for like an hour or so. And I was having a blast. I was like, oh, this looks like a good game. This looks like a lot of piecing together things. I was surprised. I think I own that game. I own a lot of games like that are like the point and click kind of yeah, Myst-esque, like that style. I went through a phase probably 3 years ago. I think it was like the first year of like the pandemic. Where I bought all of the, what's that series called? The Room? Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 of the Room games. I bought all of those, and Torny and I played through them all.
Rusty Lake.
And the Rusty Lake games. Oh my gosh, Oat, have you played Rusty Lake? You should play Rusty Lake next. Oh my goodness. If you need more games like that, Rusty Lake games aren't even like that difficult. Overall, they're like pretty straightforward. You can't play it next. Why not? But you need more point and click games. Wait, you are playing. Hold on, wait.
She has to do Subnautica.
Yeah, if Subnautica is what's coming next, then absolutely Subnautica, because yes. I just meant, like, you know, if you need more point and click games. If you need point and click games, then oh, Obra Dinn is also point and click. That's true. Obra Dinn, yes. I want you to know, I have your Twitch channel is bookmarked in my browser, and it is bookmarked as Outer Wilds. Like if I type Oat into my URL bar, the first thing that pops up is Outer Wilds as a bookmark. The putt-putt games. I have some. So Film Cow streams old games every night, and he streamed one of the putt-putt games a couple of years ago. I forgot which one it was though. All right, So I'm going to walk through, I'm going to take a moment here and walk through what's going on in this level, and what I figured out so far, and what is stumping me. Because, I feel like that's a good way to recap this level. So, we have a tower of sausages. If you push the sausages, depending on how you're pushing them, they do different things. So, if we are pushing them with the rolling ones, then it pushes the stack, right? If you push them this ways, then all of the weight of the sausages are on the one you left, which now carries all of them, right? So you can do that, and then we could do this. Boom. Or this. Boom. So you got that going on. If we notably do something like this, then you'll notice one sausage is moving because we're supporting the other one. So you get some weird stuff going on. There's this. We can now rotate. Now we have a sausage on our head. There's like just so many options for what we can do with this stack of sausages. Okay, so that's some basics on this tower. There are exactly enough of these L grills, as I call them, as sausages. There's 8 L grills and there are 8 sausages. So we presumably need to get a sausage on each L grill, which makes sense. We have what's clearly a fundamental part of this, which is these bridges. So the way these bridges work, just gonna demonstrate really quick like this. So we can climb up a ladder and we can walk over the sausages in order to do this. We're gonna need to do that in order to adjust the sausages that are up here. On top of that, after we have done all of the top layer sausages, we need to push those in. Yeah, so we'll need to push all of them in at the end, and then we'll need to be on this ladder, which will then let us get to the end. So let me demonstrate with this. Come here, you. Okay. Oops, I forgot to do that. Boom. So, we stand on the sausage, and then we can walk on them to roll them, which will let us get to the next one, which we can then walk on and roll, and that'll let us get over there, etc.
Oh, that's how you're supposed to do that.
Yes.
Really, not experimented enough with this level.
I was wandering around. I know you weren't here at the beginning of me streaming this, but I was in this level for probably 30 minutes at the beginning of stream, and I accidentally did that, which is how I discovered it. I would have never realized that there was that kind of mechanic if I hadn't stumbled upon it. So, like, just, yeah, my mind was kind of blown. So anyway, that's where we're at. So our the problem with the level, you've seen all of, like, what we know about the level. The problem is this upper layer. I don't know how to intentionally get the sausages into each one. I need to dole them out. I need one sausage for each of those upper level grates, and I don't know how to get them there. Like, I could push this stack here. I can do this, do that, do that. Boom, set to, no, need to do, no. Oop, nope, this, boom, alright, so we could do something like this, which, you know, we'll push, and then, walk, do that. Oh, we don't want one on our head. We can't get one off of our head in this level, so having a sausage on our head is, like, not good. But we need to do something kind of like that. Oh, great. And if we stand on a sausage like this, then we start rolling, and we can't, like, get off. So that's a problem. Yeah, so we need to somehow get a sausage up there. We need the sausages specifically to be on top of this sausage. Because, we're going to need to push it forward again. So it's just, that's where we're at. I don't know how to line them up. I haven't figured that out. And trying to figure out is just, not going well. It's very confusing. I was messing with it a lot earlier in stream, and I wasn't coming up with a way to get them to fall in a way that wasn't ruining the others from falling, and that's, like, obviously a big problem. I need all of them to fall, like, as I want them to. Anyway, I missed a bit of chat while I was going on this long rant on this level. The butt games, the butt games is very funny to me. It would take a long time to explain why, but I love the name butt games. Vote Subnautica. I also vote Subnautica. I cannot express how excited I am for Subnautica. Oat, I only request, if possible, that you stream on Tuesdays and or Wednesdays. This may or may not be because that's when I'm available and I really want to watch Subnautica. Yes, there are a lot of background Torny. If I'm talking a lot, then there's going to be a lot of Torny and or Colette sounds. Like, this is why I use push to talk. Because normally I'm not talking this much.
Like my giggles.
One day I'll maybe figure out how to set up, like, more of what's it called? The type of microphone that, like, is pointed more at, like, where the direct sound's coming from. I don't remember the name. Are those compressor microphones? Maybe? I don't know. I know that there's this type of microphone that's supposed to, like, you point it at your lips, basically, is how it's supposed to work. So eventually I might get that kind of microphone, which I think will help with this issue, and still allow me to not need to wear headphones, because I don't want to wear headphones. That's... This is why we use push to talk, so specifically because I do not want to wear headphones. Anyway, I did say when I was on this level earlier, by the way, is that if anybody has any suggestions on how to get the sausages to be in that upper level, I am open to backseating suggestions on this, because I am just really stumped on it, and I am okay with, like if this game didn't force me to 100% levels to go to the next area, then I would go to the next area. Like, I would skip this level, and I would feel okay with that. Here's my conundrum. I know the spoilers of Subnautica because of some IRL friends, so I can't decide if I want to play it or watch it. Yeah, like, definitely play it. Kerr, you could start it, like, I mean, I would vote stream it, although you don't have to stream it, but I mean, I think it'd be worth playing on your own before watching. Like, honestly, it would be fun to watch with someone, too. Like, I do, as much as I always encourage people to, like, play games first, there are a lot of games where you can watch it, and the experience, you know, is fun to just watch. And that's true. Artsy plays 99%, like, of games that Artsy plays are games that Artsy knows spoilers to. I say 99% is a number I've thrown out there for no reason. Even though, like, it's probably closer to less than that, like 50%, based on me watching Artsy play, like, 7 games. I think it depends on how much spoilers there are, as far as how much Subnautica would be ruined. Like, I don't think it's ruined. I think that if you know too much, then Subnautica is, like, there's a little less interest, but it's a very specific amount of knowledge, so... Or rather, not amount, it's very specific knowledge that if you know that knowledge, it changes things. Oh my god, that brings up a good point. Artsy, Kerr hasn't played The Witness, and that's driving me insane. Kerr, play The Witness. Also, a red cell said directional 3 or 4 types, and I don't know what that was in reference to. Oh, microphones. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Directional microphones. Right. It's okay, Red Sail. I get it. Yeah, directional microphones would be the one that I would want. See, the sausage that I ideally want on this one is the other one that's facing the same direction. Yeah, if you look at, like, clips of my channel, I streamed on Twitch, like, one time 10 years ago. I streamed... There was this game that came out where you were like a honey badger. Or maybe a regular badger. You were a badger, and you were supposed to, like, save your family. You were like a mama badger, and you were trying to save your family of little badger babies. And you were taking them through a forest that was, like... I don't remember. Being, like, a forest fire was starting or something. And, like, there were hawks trying to steal your babies, and all kinds of other animals in the forest trying to steal your babies. So, like, as the mama, you had to, like, scout ahead a little bit, and then you had to, like, find safe spots, and then call your babies, but you needed to make sure that when you called them, it would be safe for them to travel, and... I don't know. It was a very cute game that was, pretty fun. And I streamed that game, and that was it. And, I mostly streamed it because I had friends. There wasn't, like, Discord wasn't really a thing yet. So, there wasn't, like, an easy way to stream otherwise. And, I had some friends that wanted to watch the game. There's a single clip that I took of that game for some reason. The clip makes zero sense to me now. I don't know why I clipped it. But it amuses me that I have this random clip from, like, 10 years ago. Bjorto, did you fall asleep? Did you? Is that the Friday EP? Is it the fall asleep? That'll happen. I almost fell asleep. That game I played a while back, that Allison actually played later. Smushy Come Home. That game, during, like, one of the cutscenes or something, like, halfway through that game, I realized that I was, like, starting to fall asleep. Because I wasn't that sleepy, but the game was so calming and, like, chill that it was making me very sleepy. I was like, Otopop. During one of your last Death Door plays, I know. Did I miss you streaming Death's Door? I'm not sure. I'll have to check. I've been keeping up with your Death's Door, but I'm wondering. I think the last Death's Door stream you did, I had to go to bed before you finished it, and I don't think I watched the VOD yet. It is a very calming OST, it's true. Curry, you're gonna 100% it, right? Oh my gosh, is it really almost midnight? Jesus Christ. I might have to stop streaming soon. I have, early morning work tomorrow. Not as early morning as today was, but it's like a long work week for me. I work, I work like 2 more days than I normally work this past, week, which is fine, but I'm very tired. pieces of tablets because you demand answers. Excellent. It's good to demand answers. Alright. Trying to think. So fundamentally, what have I, like, not done in this? So... do I need to put... okay. One idea before I wrap up. What if I need to put... what if I need to put the upper sausages down where I want them? No, because I want... oh, but what... I could put it... here. Could I put a sausage right here? Maybe. Oh, we have upper sausages and lower sausages. And the lower sausages seem like they're fine. We know how to deal with those. But the upper sausages are really causing us problems. We're having a real difficult time with our sausages right now. There's just so many sausages. Like, there's a lot of sausages. Okay. Okay. Can we... what? Okay, let's go. Let's move this boy back. You. Come here. You go back there. Let's go here. We want you... oh no, where did we just push that to? No, we don't want that. No, we don't want that. Okay. This is a problem. No, but I want that sausage here. It's the sausages above it. Ah! Why? Goodness gracious. Okay, wait. Idea... this is not a good idea. I already realized I'm already realizing that this idea is not going to work how I'm imagining it. But we're going to go for some trial and error, right? Boom. See, we can do that, but now the problem is we don't have those sausages anymore. That's the problem with that idea. And we can't get to those sausages anymore. Yeah, exactly, Bjorta. That's like why this is a comparison to like Rubik's Cube solving. Like, there's one thing, there's just one maneuver we need to make. Some maneuver that deposits a sausage. And then we just need to repeat it for each place we need to deliver a sausage to. And I cannot for the life of me figure out that maneuver. I also can't figure out the order. So, like, I know that to end it, we're going to... when I'm, like, doing the end part of the level, I'm gonna go on this ladder. So I need to go up this ladder, and then I'm gonna roll back on the sausages, and I need to go from this one to the other ladder, because the other ladder, this one, ends with the two grills. So I'll walk backwards and then be able to get off the ladder. I don't know what the order of depositing the upper sausages is gonna be. Because, like, I don't know if it matters. It might matter.
Why can't I go?
See, like, we could do something like that, but there's just no way that that is correct. Like, this is not helpful. Because, like, if we do that, then, like, that's not, we definitely don't want that to have happened. Oh, we don't want that. So this, I just now realized that there are two ways to do the rotations. Like, because we can rotate this sausage that's on our head right now, even though we don't have it on the other way. I don't know if that's helpful though. But that is something I just now realized we could do. Yeah, we can't, like, do anything with this. Alright. I do think I might save and quit for tonight. I don't want to be done with this game. I just want to be done with this level. So, what I might do... I'm going to think about this. I'm not committed to one idea or another. But, I might look up the solution to this level. I might play this level more off stream or like just on Discord. Like I might stream on Discord and just mess around with it for a while. I don't know. I'm wondering if this game has like a hint guide. Baba Is You has one of my all-time favorite guides in like the world. I've yet to see another community make a similar thing, but Baba Is You has a dedicated hint guide that, like, for every level in the game, you click, like there's a series of hints. There's like 3 or more hints for the level, and it's like something you may not have realized. And I'm wondering if there's some sort of hint guide for this game, because if I could have a like I just need a hint on how to get that upper part. Like there's something I'm missing for depositing the sausages, and they seriously do. The bottom sausages are fine. Like the sausages that go in the bottom, we know how to do that. But it's the sausages on the top that are just like, they're just, there's something I don't know what to do with them. Finishing the latter half of Baba Is You, nice. Yes. I always recommend the hint guide for Baba Is You. Like, I ended up using it for a couple of levels, like, very late in the game. But to anyone whoever is, like, worried about Baba Is You and wants to play it, or who's, like, started to play it and is worried about continuing, the hint guide website for it is hands down. I would suggest spending the 6 hours first. But like, if you want to beat a level in Baba Is You and you felt stuck for what you consider too much time, like if that's the thing that's holding you back, then I think the hint guide's great. It's just one of the coolest community resources to a puzzle game that I think I've ever seen. It's very, very well done. And it's done in a way that is, like, spoiler-free. Like, doesn't matter what you've seen in Baba Is You, the guide is set up to not show you anything that you are not familiar with. So, it's, very good. I just wish that kind of resource existed for more games. Like, I feel like a lot of, very difficult puzzle games would highly benefit from community resources like that. So, I have seen, what's that game? Talos Principle? Talos Principle has a, there's a Steam guide that similarly does hints. So, like, there's, like, a few hints you can have for things you may not have noticed. And then, in that guide, if you don't get it, then there's a, I think the person has, like, solutions. The Baba Is You hint guide, from what I remember, does not have solutions posted. It just has, like, a handful of hints, so... I need to finish Talos Principle. I am, like, 70% through the game, and then I took a break to do some other stuff, and I never came back to it.
I need to finish it at some point, too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't remember, like, I genuinely think I just stopped playing it because I was taking a break. Like I was doing something else for a little bit. I don't think I was, like, stopping because of any other reason. Talos Principle definitely suffers from the thing that a lot of puzzle games, especially, like, first-person or like, over-the-shoulder, third-person ones, suffer from. And that's that if the player doesn't notice something that you hope they notice, then they can just be stuck. And so Talos Principle, that's why that guide has the hints, because it's like, there is a good chance that a player could just straight up not have seen this block around a corner. And because they didn't see that, they can't, like, solve a puzzle. La Mulana streams I've seen have been infinitely better when some of the key community members were around and could provide tablet-style riddles. That makes sense. Yeah, I think the Outer Wilds community does that too. I mean, obviously not tablet-style, but, like, that's what people from the Interloper Discord were doing for people who wanted, like, points in the right direction. I would really love to see a standardized list of stuff like that, because they kind of go off of their own thing, and it would be kind of nice to see like a large community resource guide on hints if you're stuck on something, but hints in a way that's not just, oh, go check out this other place. Like, I don't know. I bet there's a good way to do it. Talos Principle is Portal without portals. I mean, yeah, that's about what I would call it. I mean, I think it was heavily influenced by Portal. I do think that Talos Principle kind of suffered from, there's like a thing in some of its puzzles where they don't, some of them kind of go on a bit. I don't know, there's a whole lot of stuff going on in that game, but I liked the game a lot. Oh yeah, that's the you do inputs. Well, okay, I don't want to spoil Talos Principle, but if that is the mechanic I'm remembering, then it is. It also really ups the possible complexity for puzzles in a way that I thought was kind of great. And that game has a lot of, like, the secret collecting in that game is pretty great. I got a lot of secrets, and some of them, you're just, like, you feel very satisfied to get them. Like, I don't know, there's some very good ones.
That's another reason I gotta continue Talos Principle, because I don't know what that ability is.
Well, that's why we didn't spoil it. Boom.
Yippee.
Okay, yeah, but I am definitely gonna end stream. This Tower of Sausage is gonna remain a conundrum, because I really need to finish getting ready for bed and go to sleep. So, we're just gonna go over to Colette. I know commands that I do. Ha ha ha. Anyway, thank you for everyone for hanging out. There will be some more streams of something. I don't know which things will be streamed next. Maybe some more Played Up in the next day or two. Maybe some more sausage. If there's more sausage, I am like 90% sure I'm gonna look up the solution to this or see if I can find a hint guide. But we'll see.
Played Up will
Yep.
make it.
But anyway, have a good evening.